All right, gather round, because I am about to tell you something that is going to make you deeply grateful for modern medicine. Ancient Egyptians used crocodile poop as birth control. I am not making this up. They mixed crocodile dung with honey and shoved it up there. That was the plan. That was the medical advice. Welcome to the wildest ride through reproductive history you never asked for. Today we are covering the 7 most ridiculous contraception methods humans have ever tried. And trust me, it only gets worse from here. Let us start with ancient Egypt, around 1850 BC. There is a medical document called the Ebers Papyrus, and in it, there is a very detailed contraceptive recipe. You take crocodile feces, mix it with honey and natron, form it into a paste, and use it as a suppository. Now here is the thing, researchers actually think this might have sort of worked. Crocodile dung is slightly alkaline, which could theoretically have some spermicidal properties. But let us be real here. The moment you bring crocodile poop into the bedroom, the mood is already dead. That is the real contraceptive effect. Next up, ancient Greece. There was a physician named Soranus of Ephesus, 2nd century, very respected. And his medical advice for women after intercourse was, and I quote, sneeze vigorously and then hop around the room. The logic was that physical jolting would dislodge everything. This was not a joke. This was considered legitimate medical advice from a respected physician in the era of Hippocrates. Soranus even had detailed instructions. He said squatting while sneezing was more effective. Very thorough guy. Now we jump to medieval Europe and things get even weirder. People in the Middle Ages believed that wearing dried weasel testicles around your neck would prevent pregnancy. Some regions had very specific rules. You could not just wear them as a necklace. No, they had to be tied to your thigh during the act for maximum effectiveness. The weasels were not consulted about this arrangement. Now let us head east. In ancient China, there are historical records of mercury being used for contraception. In the imperial courts, concubines were reportedly given small doses of mercury to prevent pregnancy. And here is the dark part. Mercury can actually cause infertility, but it also destroys your kidneys and your brain. So this was not really contraception, this was more like slow poisoning with a side effect they happened to want. In Edo period Japan, oiled paper was folded and used as a barrier method. And in India, elephant dung was reportedly used in a similar way to the Egyptian crocodile dung approach. East or west, humanity really tried everything. Fast forward to the early 1900s. In 1920s America, Lysol, yes, the disinfectant you use to clean your bathroom, was marketed as a feminine hygiene product. Since it was illegal to directly advertise contraception at the time, the company used coded language about freshness and marital happiness. Countless women used industrial disinfectant for birth control. The results were exactly what you would expect. Chemical burns, poisoning, and zero contraceptive reliability. Lysol ran these ads for decades, and then we get to the 1950s. An urban legend swept across America that douching with Coca-Cola after sex would prevent pregnancy. This became so widespread that in 1985, researchers at Harvard Medical School actually tested it in a laboratory. Their findings, it does not work. But they did discover that Diet Coke was slightly more effective at killing sperm than regular Coke, which is possibly the most useless scientific finding in human history. This research won them an Ig Nobel Prize in 2008. The Ig Nobel Prize, if you are not familiar, is an award for research that first makes you laugh and then makes you think. The Coca-Cola contraception study was a perfect fit. So what have we learned from this tour through contraceptive history? 2 things. First, humans will try absolutely anything when they are desperate enough. Crocodile poop, weasel testicles, industrial disinfectant, soft drinks. Nothing was off limits. Second, we should be incredibly grateful for modern contraception. Walking into a pharmacy and buying something that is safe, tested, and actually works is a luxury that has only existed for a tiny fraction of human history. Not having to hunt down a crocodile on the banks of the Nile is something we should appreciate every single day. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you do not miss the next wild story. See you in the next one.